All right, here we go. Show number 43 of Into the Cubieverse, and we are live. That's hold up, hold, hold up, hold up, gold miner, hold up. I got a sound issue here. Hold up. There, there. That should be the sound.
Okay, is that
Okay.
better?
Yes.
So how far back do we have to rewind?
I don't think anybody heard anything you guys said.
Okay.
The Cubieverse is. Oh, you introduce the show, Chris? Atrocity.
Okay, we can cut it off. All right, here we go. Show number 43 of Into the Cubieverse, and we are
Take
live. Take two.
The Cubieverse is a GPS-based game where you walk to get keys, use keys to open trivia vaults, answer trivia questions to earn rewards, and use those rewards to enhance your in-game experience or convert them to real-life rewards. Thank you for joining us tonight, and get ready as we take you into the Cubieverse. Gold Miner, how was your week in the Cubieverse?
Well, let me tell you.
An abridged version.
So, very busy week trying to finish getting a green user vault built for the end of yesterday to make sure I got on my up to within the top 10 of the builders. Squeaked through at the last minute and completed that. But it's been a week filled with making sure nobody else has been dropping anything in there that's not a high level, like in the build, leveling up our QBs. So, pardon?
Yeah, you have to hope that no one does, right? Because if I find a cubic crane in the wild and I have a builder, I throw it in. I don't even think about other people's goals.
It would be nice.
I could see from our house that you'd done the other one. That's what prompted the message. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It would be nice if we could lock that out as a builder. You get that choice whether you accept
that. Would be a cool feature.
Selfish. I wouldn't like that.
No. So, anyways, that green user vault finished. So this month or last month, I had the coffee shop that I opened. A white vault, a blue vault, a white vault, a blue vault, a fountain, and a green user vault. So it was a month with a lot of building. And then, as Atrocities has been talking about how he wants to try to print a Beatrix, I thought now that we can print at home, I'm going to try and do this again. So I've ended up with a ton of Victors, Dahlia, Ophelia. I'm all out of white thread, although I did pick up some during happy hour today or this morning in some of our trade checks. But I finally said, fine. A couple days ago, I said, fine. I'm going to try printing something else. So I went in and printed a cat. And lo and behold, what do I print? But Missy, which is like, wow, perfect. I've already bought that which, but not complaining. Already bought
Yeah.
that, but very happy that I printed that.
How much did you pay for a Missy? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so long ago, honestly.
Yeah.
But I know it was quite a bit.
Yep.
I felt
I'm
at
getting
that
one.
point.
I'm getting one cheap now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that's pretty much been our day. Like we've been like trying to make sure we hit happy hour every day that we can.
Right.
That's doable. And then we use our fountain to collect. We use the coffee cup to collect. I think we've both been doing white paint. I know I've been doing white paint, trying to have my white paint, and then answering the questions of our choice, category of our choice, or of the of the happy hour choice, which has been a lot of cryptocurrency and books this week. Not books, not cryptocurrency.
You
Lots
didn't
of
like
crap.
toys and games. We did toys and games, and then there was fashion the one time.
But other than that, still looking for that Beatrix.
So you did get your build, and you got another nail gun, Kelly?
I got another nail gun, Kelly. Yes.
Congratulations. So what, you have to finish 10 in the world or 10 country for that?
10 in the world.
Top 10 in the world.
Okay.
So
wow.
Atrocities. What was I and what were you? Because he was on that nonstop, making sure we were. I think I was 8.
I ended up at 9, so it was kind of nail biting at the end. Because I was like, if I get pushed out, then I can't do anything. Like, I've got some resources I could throw in to level some more stuff up, but then I would just push gold miner out, right? So it was kind of nail biting. And to be clear, we were fairly well positioned in the leaderboards throughout the month, but we started getting pushed down, and then at the last minute or later in the day, it's like, okay, we're gonna have to build. We're gonna have to start a build here. And we were kind of, let's say, lackadaisical about getting the builds going. So so gold miners got hers up, and it was the 15-day green user vault. But then she had the nail gun Kelly, so we were fairly confident with it. But then you put it up and you do the calculations on the time, and it's like, wait a second, like this is going to be super close. So I'm doing the math here, and I'm figuring out that like we're going to be within an hour or so, like either way. But
full time, right?
But what we figured out though was, looking at it, if you put in a level 1 common cubie, because we're going to need the common cubies, it will reduce it by an hour and a half or so, versus if you're putting in like a level 8 cubie, it will reduce it by an hour 50. And those 20, in this case, those 20 minutes times 10, we're going to add up and make all the difference in the world. So and it was the same thing with the rares. Now we've all got level 10 rares. And then likewise, we need a nail gun Kelly in there as support to get it in. But then we didn't necessarily know how much time exactly the level 10 nail gun Kelly was taking off. So it was a scramble to get these commons leveled up. So
well, congratulations on getting it done.
Thank you. Atrocities has a nail gun Kelly too, but his was in his own build. So that's, his build would be done in advance of mine, but it was still kind of like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Thankfully, I'm married to an accountant who can figure everything out minute by minute. I would have been spending a lot more time trying to figure that out.
I could have used an accountant this week to monitor my spending.
Yeah, what were you spending on?
If we're going to switch to my story for the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
My story for the week, I've been doing well this week. I lots of pluses. But I'm going to start with the negative, because it's something I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever done. A Missy and Beatrix in the auction house. I'm like, okay, there's a few of them. I'm like, okay, throw some bids down on it. I backed out of the Missy one. I had bid on the Beatrix 2 days ago, just over 18,000. I was the first bid. I'm like, okay, just hold my spot. Wondering why I haven't been outbid yet. I go look at it today. it's a Victor. I clicked the wrong one. I bid on a Victor, which I only have 4 of them, but I still don't need to buy anymore.
No,
So
not at 18,000.
if anybody wants to throw me a bone and outbid me on a Victor that you need, 18,100 right now. You can scoop it up real quick, I bet.
It won't fight you. Won't fight it back for you.
I,
Okay.
I don't mind. It's not the worst thing I've ever done. I've listed one item before, and when I tried to list like 500 or something, back in the old day when you were putting in your one and it wasn't really checking, and then you had to put in the quantity that you wanted.
I've bought one item before thinking they were 100 or 1,000, so we've all done it.
Actually, if I remember correctly, it was Bunch of O'Brien's one item that you bid on and bought, and she was so thankful.
Yeah, it might have been the case. Yes.
I think you accidentally did it, but
yes.
Maybe you've done it to other people too. Oh,
what was it that you bought?
I can't remember what it was, but it was.
I can't remember either.
The end
like
of the Cubieverse and
one premium flower or something.
No, yeah, I don't know what it was. It was.
I had an exceptional for me week in other ways though. I hit in one day, 3 days ago. I hit 4 bonuses on trade checks.
Nice.
Almost in a row. Yeah, I'm like, I'm lucky if I get one once a month.
Yeah.
I also got my second ever chromatic blueprint from a green vault.
Nice.
And I looked into my stats, and I believe that's out. It was 339 perfects with 1 chromatic blueprint.
Wow.
Then I hit 340 with 2. I had 25 green vaults that weren't perfect, so they don't actually count into the factor into this. But I went from 1 in 339 to now 1 in every 170. So better, but it's not like the first one I got on my 79th green. So I was thinking I'd get 1 every 100 or so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that has not been the case so far. But the day after, I got my chromatic. Bunch of O'Brien's got 1 in a different green vault. So she's now 3 blueprints, chromatic blueprints to my 1. So I had a great buddy quest with Davey. It was really good. Messaged me right away. Said they were out of town, but they'd be back Saturday morning. Messaged me Saturday morning right away. I didn't mind. Like I said, as long as there's communication, I'll do buddy quests with anybody.
Yeah.
So I've had people say before that they were going to be like 6 or 7 days. So if I wanted to drop them, go ahead. I said, well, I will, because they'll get another buddy quest in 2 days. But add me again when you're back in town. If and they did, and we did a buddy quest like a month after that, and it worked perfectly. So communication in this game is key to me, which is why Discord is pretty important now.
Yeah. No, I agree. Communication is it, right? Like if somebody doesn't communicate and then gets mad that you deleted them because we didn't wait for them. Like if you don't communicate, come back. What do you expect me to do? And
I've gone 4 or 5 days once before where I messaged people. I tried to get a hold of them. No response, no answer. On the 5th day, just about the 6th day, I deleted them because obviously they're not going to do. 3 days after that, so even after our buddy quest would have they closed, I had a message back saying, "Oh yeah, I just opened the game, got your message. When do you want to do this?" I'm like, "I canceled you 4 days ago. I don't know what. You're not even playing. Obviously, you're not playing the game."
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good week that way. There's one other thing I was going to say, and I can't remember at the moment. It's there and it's gone. That's the way I play this game. Oh. I don't want to get into the changes. Yeah, I know we got stuff to do, but the last week was also blindsided with some new questions, which was awesome.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the new questions like the
I really like new questions, although they really take the term trivia question very loosely.
Yes, there's definitely an expansion there for sure. Which is not necessarily
which could be good.
Not necessarily a bad thing for sure.
Yeah.
So,
So I know we're pressed for time and one thing. So Atrocities, if you want to sum up your week quickly, or we want to do our due, because
So
don't
the
say we
only
don't do anything for our viewers who have reached
right,
out and said they were pressed for time.
right. So
Okay, so
the only thing I'm going to add for
Atrocity. Hold on. Why don't we do the draw for the loot code, and then while we're waiting for the loot code, you can tell us about your week.
all right, let's do
That
that.
works.
So so once again, draw for the loot code. It's going to be
Small Christmas tree.
one small Christmas tree. When I say go, or when we start this, you'll need to enter your name in the chat, your Discord username, along with the keyword. The keyword I picked this week is Victor. As in,
Is that Magic Dragon?
as in Magic
You do
Dragon.
the key name first. Thank you.
Right?
You do the key name, the keyword, the word,
keyword
and
is
then your username.
Keyword is Victor, and then followed by your Discord username. So that way we're in touch with you. It's Victor spelled Victor. It's got it up here on screen if you cannot see it, Victor. And right now I'm actually going to hit start capturing messages so we can get this show on the road. So it is working right now. So for the next 5 minutes, to enter the win, enter your, as I said, the keyword is Victor, Victor, with your screen name, just like everybody else has a couple people done already. So excellent. You are, if you've won from us before, you're eligible to win again, with the exception of these Christmas trees, or the small Christmas trees. When we do the big one, we got the rare one, it'll be open up to everybody. So you can win one now, a small one, and then we will win a one. But you're still able to win the rare Christmas tree later on. So.
Well, that's all pretty generous of us.
It is.
There was somebody who didn't put their. Oh, I think she's changed it. Okay.
So.
So your week. Atrocities.
My week. So the key thing I'm going to say about my week in the Cubieverse, obviously, a gold miner, we were working on the builds and making sure we were getting things. Well, it was actually her build, so I was focused on that, and because mine was under control. But the one thing is, forgot to convert my Cubie coin to crystal keys when we normally do it. So, because we were focused on the other things, so we got delayed by a day on that, and I don't quite.
On Saturday, we were out driving. I'm like, oh my God, we didn't do our Cubie coins transfer.
Right, but we had, we were religious about that. We were focused on that. We were probably past that spot a couple times. So, it is what it is, right? So, whatever. So, I'm going to say that was kind of my highlight from the week in the Cubieverse. As well, the water fountain. Still loving the water fountain. Obviously, the range difference is awesome, but use the water fountain to learning the new categories. I'm looking forward to putting in these internet memes to do that. So with that, I'm kind of figured that's my week in the Cubieverse for sure. But what are you guys thinking of the new trivia that we've got?
Okay, let's go back to last week first, when they all of a sudden hit us with all those new math questions.
Yes.
Which I love. It was, I do fast math. I do math in my head. That's all fine. But it is, like I said, it takes liberties with the whole trivia aspect of it. It's more calculations, which it doesn't bother me, but is that going to open up, are we going to do like chemical equations or physics problems next.
Hopefully not physics
That'll be fun.
problems.
I won't be answering math questions after that if that's the case.
Right.
Or-
And there
Yeah.
were some chemical equations in there previously,
Yep.
like
Well, gold, the
gold.
name for.
Yeah.
But when your choices are hot dog and random things like that,
Yeah.
it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So I don't count that though. Do you?
Well, I wasn't doing chemical symbols. I was talking about like solvents, like what's going to happen if you dissolved this into that? What's going to be left? Like, is it going to ask you stuff like that? That would be.
That might be a red question.
Yeah.
Red
But
vault.
they also, how do I feel like? I like the questions. I don't have a problem with them, but they're definitely a chill mode question rather than hunter mode for a lot of it. Like I'm still testing myself, and I did well. I was still getting the perfects in the hunter mode because the format's all the same. You know, there's going to be brackets and a function at the end. So once you realize that the setup or the parameters of it were the same, it was actually pretty easy to do. But it was still I like it. I don't know. I'm babbling now.
So
I'm
I totally agree with you. These are definitely chill mode questions. I've been running in chill mode for a long time now because I wanted to build up my resin and paint supply.
Sure.
But absolutely, they are definitely chill mode questions. I like doing the mental math. I haven't done a lot of mental math in a long time, and I bet you a lot of players are the same situation where they're like, oh, like I used to be able to rhyme off the times tables like that. Not quite there anymore, which is like, oh, I realize that. So I like that. I like the challenge. What are you, Gold Miner? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't mind them, but I know I shouldn't say this, but the only time I have issues with it is when you're driving. So
because you're watching what he's doing instead of focusing on yourself. Yeah. Be a passenger. Be a passenger.
That's right.
I know,
Just
but
sit back and be a passenger and stop worrying about my driving. So.
Somebody always goes to the passenger side.
So we got 10 seconds left. You got 10 seconds left to get in. Need the keyword Victor and your Discord name. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're done. So we got 14 people have popped in.
Do you have it? There was somebody that put 2 names in there.
Well, we'll see what happens if I export the
system picks it up well. So.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to hit the pick the winner button, and we're going to see what happens. Good luck, everybody who has entered. So, mixing it up. We got a winner, Hazelin Piera. Haslin? Hazelin? I can't say that. So, all right. Congratulations. I like Posey says here, congrats HP. Yes. Congratulations HP. So, all right.
So just send me a Discord message, HP, and I will send you the loot code after the show. Congratulations.
Who won?
Excellent.
Pardon?
Who was it? Who won? I missed it. Sorry.
HP 1, 2. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
Already then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't say the name correctly. Haslin Piera, maybe. Not sure, but okay.
Okay.
All right,
That works. We know. We'll get a hold of you.
All right. Anyways, congratulations, and thanks for joining us live here for that. So that's great. Yeah. So continue on. Sorry, Gold Miner. Any more thoughts on the math?
No, like I don't mind math. I used to steer clear of math, and I'm not as big of a fan of math of blue, like Blue Vault. However, they're getting easier and easier because last month I found were not a lot of topics or categories that were on my list of choices. So I was starting to learn a lot of the white vaults of any color or of any category are quite easy. Like it's pretty much no break. This month, and I know somebody else made a comment about it saying that this month's categories are not so good. And I think there's a few more in this month, or maybe one or two more this month that I prefer, but still, this is not an ideal month for me either. So, but you get to learn other things. There are ones you're clear of, and
I was actually surprised that we didn't have math again this month, given that we had all these changes at the last minute. It was a big change to that category, and for it to be a couple days with that and then not be there next month, I was kind of surprised with that, right? I would have thought so. But I think I agree that math maybe needed some change, because I found myself picking math because the answers were fairly easy, fairly straightforward. You could answer them fairly dependably as it was. So this change, I don't think is a bad thing for the category, for sure.
Not at all.
And it needed more questions, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So. And
math was always my go-to category every single time for yellow vaults, green vaults, white vault. So I enjoy the changes or the addition of new questions.
Yeah.
We're getting tired. Not tired, just the same ones over and over.
So speaking of addition,
I also liked the mythology one last month.
I was like,
that was great for the green vaults too. It was great.
Really?
I didn't try any green vaults with that. So.
Oh no, yeah. Sisyphus was one of the answers to the green vaults. Person had to push the boulder up the hill forever.
Right. Okay.
So we actually, sorry, we did the green vaults with a bunch of O'Brien's walking by. She said, "Oh, I hadn't done it today. What's it going to be?" So she clicked on it. I said, "Pick it. It's going to be Sisyphus." And it was. So it was. She's like, looked at me. I'm like, "Is that the only question they have?" I said, "No. There was another green one too that I had, but I only picked it twice on green. I can't remember what the other one was at the moment."
Yeah.
But yes, a bunch of O'Brien's did not like the mythology category.
What do you think of the meme category?
Speaking of new categories.
Yay for me, down for her.
I don't mind it. I know Atrocities was complaining about it, but I don't know. I haven't either. So
I think the meme category makes me feel old, because I'm like, I haven't seen. I don't know any of this stuff, right? Memes are not my thing.
I can sum up Atrocities here for you. I think it was a year ago or so. I said something. I sent him a message like, "Okay, well, what's the most recent meme you saved to your phone?" He's like, "Well, I can answer that for you. None. I've never saved a meme on my phone." Like,
and I still have.
Okay.
Right.
I must say,
I could see that category not being the best for him.
Right.
I've never had one saved either.
Okay.
That though, I'm on reels and stuff all the time, looking at you post a ton of them. I've seen a lot of them over the course of the past few years. I don't know. I personally found what I answered not bad, but I know he was kind of cursing them in the car the other day.
And the internet side of it, like there's the memes and the internet side. The internet side is relatively straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
So that one wasn't so bad. There was one tonight, like, what's internet slang for joking? And the answer is kidding. Like,
wouldn't it be JK?
Well, but
that's a short form.
Not for just kidding. What's the internet lingo for joking? And the answer is kidding. And they said, okay, it is, because JK, just kidding, instead of just joking, JJ.
Right.
So it makes sense, but.
Yeah. See, and this is where the fountain's going to come into play, because I'm thinking I want to get the fountain, pick that category, and then go someplace where I get a ton of vaults and do them and learn that category, learn that stuff, right? So, because it's not stuff I normally do. So.
And that's where, somebody made the comment saying Christmas I wonder if the Christmas category will be back with sponsored questions. Somebody else said the Christmas quest will be a bit more challenging with these new questions or these new categories and these crappier categories this month. But as you're talking, the fountain is a real game changer. So, like, you can choose a category of your choice for 40 minutes and have a field day. Or ours are.
Yeah. And that's great too for green vaults. Because I studied up on like one category using the Anki Droid app, Green Questions. Studied up and then picked my category and then go do green vaults, and it's like bam, bam, bam. So
nice.
Really great thing. So chat, people watching, Anki Droid. I think we did a. If you're not familiar with it, we did a show on it a while back. Check it out. Great tool to learn categories on it. So definitely take advantage of that. But yeah, I like that. So intention is to go and learn these. But you're right. I think it will make Christmas becomes a little bit more difficult. Now the good thing is the Christmas event doesn't start for a while. So usually by mid-month or so, pretty good with most of the categories, or I've found my categories. So a little tired and keeping it
up. Yeah. we were out for dinner somewhere, at his parents' house, and they were giving us. Well, I had some wine, and that's just not helped the situation. Shouldn't have done that show.
Okay. So we talked about memes category. We talked about the new math questions being added. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Changes I really like to see, but I think it's going to really help the game and maybe get more use out of the consumables. You know, those consumables are on Adventure Road?
Yes, they are.
Great addition. Great idea. I wonder if there's a way they could give a sample of the fountain on Adventure Road or something, right?
But
some people might not like. I mean, just once, just something to whet the appetite. Because people who can't see a use for the coffee shop, they've got these consumables now. They'll try the white paint or the blue paint one day and be like, you know what, this is actually pretty useful. Maybe I will build a coffee shop.
So I would say, sorry, go ahead, Goldmeyer.
My 2 cents was, before I built one, I'd used yours out in Dorchester, and this was
the coffee shop?
Yeah, the coffee shop. Pre-Halloween event.
Right.
And I don't really see a big deal in this because I have a ton of paint.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, I'm like, I don't think that's on my huge need to build one of these because I have a ton of paint. Now, Halloween, I can now appreciate I'm using my white consumable a lot because white is my amount that I have of my white paint. And I'm finding it, like, when you couple that with happy hour, it's helpful.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Like, and it shows how important
happy hour with the fountain on happy hour category.
Fountain on with the consumable.
Consumable, yeah.
In saying that, though, I can now see the benefit of why you would want a coffee shop. Like, I still now am using mine to top like if I have ones of every color, but I'm constantly I'm replacing my white because if we hit happy hour, hit the fountain to get the happy hour topic, and then all my stuff coming in is white paint, then I'm doing good. Like, I just wish there was a one for extra resin. But that's
right.
Now after building everything, I'm really low on resin. But that resin adds up really quickly anyways, but still
it does.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah,
but
so
anyway.
I agree with what you said there, that the the white, getting your white paint or whatever paint you want when you drink the coffee, great, especially during happy hours, is an awesome thing. However, having it replacing let's say 500 of a certain color paint on Adventure Road, I'm not a huge fan of. I wish it was in addition to, you would have gotten the paint plus the a cup of coffee for that color of paint or material.
Ultimately, it seems like he's added that in there because he wants to get people knowing what the consumables are, and in turn, a coffee shop to make more money for the game that way. Which hopefully that will help with that. But in turn, it kind of, takes away from not to mention the shop owners.
For sure, it's a nice.
To buy a coffee at the coffee shop, it's 2 blue keys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the value now you get, it's 2 blue keys, as opposed to 500 paint.
Yes.
Or as opposed to 250. Was it 250 or 500 on the
I think it was 500, and then paid was 1,000.
Okay. Still, and so you're getting 2 blue keys worth of, well, it would be chromatic paint if you spend 2 blue keys in the Cubieverse in general, because you can't get anything but chromatic from the blues. So the value now, you're getting 20 minutes or so of, whatever color you want.
Sure.
I think you'll earn more than the 500.
No, well, but no. Here's the thing, though, right? Is that if I'm a new player, I go through all the levels, and then I use all the coffee cups they give me, I end up with the exact same. My total number of paint's the same, and my mix of paint, it changes my mix of paint that I get, right?
Yeah.
But I end up with the same total amount of paint I would have had, and the only variance I'm going to have is if, well, maybe I use the white one and I'm hitting a ton of vaults versus I use the blue one and I don't hit as many vaults. So there's a shift there, but my total amount of paint is the same. Versus if they had in the old system, I'm plus 500 paint for every one of those levels I've got, right?
Yeah.
And if I use them, and if I use all of those cups, and I hit the same number of volts, then there's no impact at all.
Yeah, I like the fact though that it's something different, because I do believe probably 10 weeks in a row, Atrocities, I think you complained about there being paint on the first few levels.
And I have. So I'm going to say, like, I would that, but so yes, you're right. I would get rid of it. If it's up to me, I get rid of all paint altogether. But within the concept of what we're looking at, which is for new players or so, the cup of coffee is a great sort of introduction to this, people knowing. But if you look at it, you get 6 cups of coffee, whatever it is, you use them all, and your total supply of paint remains effectively the same, and you've lost out on that 500 quantity. So I would have added, personally, I would have preferred to see.
But now now you know the benefits of the coffee cups.
Yeah.
So I do think at least this month, or maybe every once in a while having it, I do think there's extra value for showing new players what the consumable does.
For sure. Or maybe.
And I agree with that. However, I don't think that you could necessarily recoup 500 paint in that 30 minutes that they give you on that consumable, because the paint that they hand out is such a low amount. If you're not coinciding it with happy hour and using that fountain, I think you'd be hard pressed to hit 500 paint. Unless you're in like Toronto where there's 1 million vaults.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like, there's a lot downtown London. I think you could do it. I'll take your challenge. I'll try that challenge. I'll try that challenge in Dorchester maybe.
Well, I do guess that you on every
We got some
vault
more builds going on out here, so
would get you 100, so maybe.
Okay. So.
But I think it.
So I guess
another. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to sort of switch topics to something.
I was going to switch topics
in the
too.
game
So.
that I really like. Oh, were you?
On the Adventure Road. So I don't know if you're.
Oh, okay.
So
you go. You have something else on Adventure Road?
Yep.
Then
so,
you go first, because mine is
I
way off the Adventure Road.
I don't know if I don't know if people are aware or saw that it was announced it came out that this is the last month that they're going to be including the display cases in Adventure Road, which was actually something that we had talked about last month, saying that we needed to find a better use, or last week, saying we needed to find a better use for. And then lo and behold, a couple days later, they decide they're going to pull them. So I don't know if we had something to do with that at all or not, or if that was in the works. But
I don't think so.
No,
I think those decisions are in the works long before us, but good timing though on our part.
Probably.
So,
we came up with some options for uses for those.
That's true.
Which I thought was good. But this is the last month for that. And then I was also expecting to see Christmas trees in Adventure Road this month. Which, they didn't have, which previously they had. So that's kind of a change for December. And then, of course, at the top of the Adventure Road on the free side, they removed that final level of paint and replaced that with crystal keys, which I think...
Resin.
Sorry, resin.
Crystal keys.
Resin. They got rid of the resin and replaced it with crystal keys. 50 crystal keys, which I think it's good. I like that. That's excellent. I'll always take crystal keys. It's only 50, but 2 months of
every
that
bit
adds up for sure. For a new player, I think there's that. There's a loot code out there that you can get 50 crystal keys, so you combine them together, and hey, there's your first white. So, I think that's a great change on that front.
Yes.
And then
if you factor in what one could sell, it was just 75,000 resin. If you could factor in what people can sell that 75,000 resin that was given out before to the 50 keys, and I'm talking like pre-existing players, you kind of feel a little ripped off with those crystal keys versus the resin. Although a lot of older or longer term players should have quite a bit of resin as well.
Right, but at the same time, if you're not close to and I always call it the wrong thing, a vending machine to do that conversion, then you may not have easy access to that conversion for crystal keys. So, and this would help, if a new player would go and save up and get enough crystal keys eventually they could eventually get a machine, right? So, so that's cool. And then I didn't get the Adventure Road the past 2 months because I needed my crystal keys to build.
You needed keys, yeah.
I got it this month, and I intended to get it this month because my key supply was getting down, right? And down being a relative thing, but I had like 85,000 white keys that I need to convert into more blues and greens.
Right. So you need the large forge.
Right. You need the large forge. So that's why I wanted to do that this time.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that despite that, because otherwise I looked at the Adventure Road and I was not certain if I was really wanting to get it this month.
I hear you.
Especially with those trees. But I need a large forge, so I think my intention going forward may be to evaluate it and get it maybe every other month or so, depending upon my key supply and what's in there. I don't know.
That's a fair way to approach it.
What you thought? Versus in the past, it was just like a no-brainer. But after finding I need more crystal keys.
Right.
I'm looking at that.
I'm still at the point where I need them because I need those 4 points per volt if I want to complete Adventure Road. Because in the small town, I don't have unlimited volts for. You get points, right, without buying it.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's twice as much for me every day. So that really helps.
Yeah, that's true.
The quick switch I was going to make that goes away from Adventure Road, that I love being able to print at home now.
Because that's kind of Adventure Road related, actually, because you have to have the Adventure Road Pass. Well, I guess you can do one a day, but Adventure Road for unlimited.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm liking
which
that.
because I had the unlimited, I burned through all of my, not all of them. I still have 20 some odd creepy doll blueprints, but all my white thread's gone. Anybody needs one of my 25 Dahlias or 38 Ophelias or however many it is I have, let me know. Only 3 Victors. 3 Victors, no, 3 Victors, 9 Ophelias, and 15 Dahlias. It's not too bad. Spaced out, mine actually like broke down, distributed very well considering how hard they are to print.
Yeah.
So it was neat to see that work out.
That's nothing. I think I have about 30, 35 all printed out about now.
Yeah. It's not all about you, gold miner.
Why can't you? Why can't you try to sell multiple of one? Like, who wouldn't want like 10 Ophelias?
You can, can't you?
I don't think
you used to be able to, but you can't sell them in lots anymore because of the they're not all unique because they've got different or they're not all the same. They're now non-fungible. Can be non-fungible because they have the different characteristics of the the amount of experience that they've got and the zodiac.
Right. Okay. I hadn't thought of that. I thought, well, but they are coming. It's still in the works, 100%. I know they've said, they haven't gone back from it yet, that we're going to have QB Army someday, right?
Some sort of game or whatever where you can use all their cues.
So, I'm going to send all my cannon fodder,
send your creepy dolls up front, followed by
QB battles. That's what I was trying to think of.
Right. Send your dolls out front and have your Tiki warriors come up behind.
Yeah, exactly right.
So that's a great thing. So something else I want to do. I was talking about doing printing at home. Was doing a unique show one-off where I'm going to print. See how many I get. So I'm thinking here's my plan. Is next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to get up local time and I'm going to throw on the Cubieverse and I'm going to just start printing. So if anybody wants to join and watch me print, Beatrix or Bust, I've got...
Beatrix or Bust.
Beatrix or Bust. I've got enough to print 60 right now.
So Magic Dragon, do you want to have bets on how what number it comes before he gets a Beatrix? I'm going home.
You know what? Odds are I'm going to start. I'm going to get live and go live, and then boom, Beatrix pops up and say, "Okay, thanks for coming out."
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Right? Thanks for joining us. But my plan here though is to go reach out to Illusion Weaver and see if I can get a loot code for that I'll release when I get a Beatrix. So. That's the plan. So
release to someone who's watching or just anybody who comments.
Right.
Because I'm not watching you for 3 hours trying to print the Beatrix.
No.
I'll be popping in and out to see how it goes. You gotta have a running total because you're gonna end up with you're gonna have 8 Victors, 16 Ophelias, 7 Victors, 19 Ophelias, and 34 Dahlias. That'll be your 60.
Well, the probability they said was, I think it was 40% of the 2, and then 19% for the Victor, and then 1% for the Beatrix. So
that's what they say, but I can guarantee if I was doing it, I know exactly how it went down.
So 60 attempts, I've got law of large numbers kicking in, but the that
Yeah.
also means I should be doing 100 of them to guarantee one. So I might be a
Yeah.
little short on blueprints.
Still no guarantee, because that's the thing about this, right? Every time you do it, it resets. It's a 1% chance.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. But
it's which I love about the game, and it's also my bane of existence in the game.
so I
My tricks made me or allowed me to get my Missy. So,
Yeah.
however, I still want my tricks.
we were printing in order to level up my common cubies as we mentioned earlier here, and was able to print from home. So I had not printed. I had one airline stewardess cubie.
Oh yeah.
So I needed the other two. I had resources for 3 prints, and what did I get? I got 2 Angelas and one.
And
Yeah, I got one whatever. So I got, I had enough for 4, and I got 3 Angelas and one of the other cubies, and I was missing.
You're missing Jamie, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm missing Jamie. So, so yeah. So there's my luck. So I got a bunch of Angelas. If somebody wants an Angela, hit me up.
The printer though has been great for being able to print rare at home as well. Because the last 2 nights in a row now, print a rare cubie. It's a 30-minute walk for me to get to a print shop. And I was able to get it both nights, like with only 20 minutes left before 7 o'clock to complete the Adventure Road task.
And
that was nice.
That rare, did you print the chromatic?
No, I haven't yet. I had Bitcoin both times.
Okay.
It's cheap. Bitcoins are cheap. And they'll be great for cannon fodder again. So, anything else you guys want to talk about tonight?
I'm sorry?
Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight?
I think
I've been doing a lot of talking and.
Well, no, it's good to have you back because I know we missed you. Just one show? But
just once.
Just once.
Yeah.
So, but it's always bad when we miss you.
It was a busy weekend last weekend. We had a tournament out of town, daughter flying down, had to get her to the airport. It was great. $89 flight from Toronto to Ottawa.
Not bad.
Wow.
That was good. We had bought it a month or so in advance. The day that we brought them there, there was a few seats left. We were selling for $1,100.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Last minute flights.
For sure.
Anyways,
So last week I think I mentioned a couple things. So let me just throw this out to you, since we got a couple minutes here left. What do you think of the idea of selling key packs, some white and blues and greens for actual crystal keys for new players or so? Because I know somebody was talking about they would like to get more keys.
But doesn't that defeat the purpose?
They could buy keys for crystal keys from the game.
Yes.
Doesn't that?
Okay. I see some potential in that.
Defeat the purpose of
I know we kind of talked when we were doing the game economics show. The number of keys plus the value of things. I would have loved to have been able to buy a red key or something from somebody. I still have a red key, but I mean, I would consider buying keys from somebody if they were allowed to be sold in the auction house. But because the game economics, it really wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that way crystal key purchase for key packs. That'd be nice if the game could do that.
I'm just thinking of way more uses
for new players only.
I think new players would be the ones that would want to buy them that way.
Probably, but if I could buy 10 green keys for 50 crystal keys or whatever, I might just throw it on there if I was bored one day. But there's me, I bid on Victor Doll they don't need, so don't come to me for advice on things.
Right.
So, sorry, are you saying trade your trade crystal keys to buy white and blue and green keys? Or are you saying
Yes.
Yes.
white, blue, and green keys
No.
for crystal?
No.
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 Okay.
I would buy crystal keys,
Yeah.
and be with, I want to say with, sorry, I would use crystal keys to purchase white,
Key
blue,
pack.
right?
Okay.
That
Like
would
a
be
key pack.
that would be a great idea. I know Llama Mama joined, and when she got in right at the Halloween event, and she was struggling for keys. She wanted to be doing all the trade checks. She wanted to be doing the green vaults, but she couldn't. So, and you can only earn so many per day.
Yep.
If she, with all of her resources, wanted to buy a key pack, I bet you she would have done it.
Yeah.
So I think for new players, it would definitely be a draw.
Yeah. And I think Jen Mo was last year. She joined around that same time, and I think that was her thing too, where she might have bought one.
Couldn't
So-
open all the cauldrons, couldn't do all the things. Well, I couldn't open the cauldrons because she hadn't advanced far enough in the chain yet. Well, she didn't have enough keys to keep opening the vaults that she needed to get through the chain. So, yeah, I bet you they would have got more out of her if it would have been available.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. All right.
Good idea.
Excellent.
Interesting idea. Don't know if it's a good idea, but it's an interesting one.
When is the next Hunter's Lodge? Is that next
I
weekend?
think it's next week. Yeah.
So-
Yes.
So we'll have that to talk about,
Yep.
and then we can talk about my Beaches or Bust event.
Yeah.
Huh.
And voting bust.
We're voting
I'm
Bust.
going.
Thanks for all the support.
3 hours
Well,
of your time.
whatever I think, the opposite usually happens.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
right.
why I'm voting bust. Oh, but now
Okay.
that I've said that, what's going to happen? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how these things work.
All right. Okay, chat. Thank you for joining us, because I think that's all we got. But thanks for joining us live, chat. Great to see everybody here. We'll have another Christmas tree to give away next week, and yeah, thanks for it. Thanks everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Gold Miner, Magic Dragon. Any final thoughts?
Nope. Happy hunting
Nope.
and next week.
Happy hunting, guys.
All right, that's it.
Okay.